again.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, same old, same old.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds cool, man. You ready for another round of this?
Ready.
It's
Ready
weird.
as I'm gonna be.
We're in the 20s of this.
Yeah.
Like that's getting weird.
And I mean, there's no end to this.
No.
We took a few weeks off from it.
Yeah.
And they just kept coming.
Yeah, and I feel like people were annoyed.
I do too.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, well,
We've created a
good
rhythm.
things take a minute.
Yeah, right? Take some time to... Anyways, so we're going to start with a couple of follow-ups on some pieces we've done. One is a healed photo, healed and hairy on this one. Then one is just a better view of one that we didn't get a very good look at, but it was a cool thing that we liked. So luckily they sent in a better photo. So we'll start with the healed and hairy.
So yeah, this one, we first reviewed it when it's fresh, and I said it was a bit too, I think I said it was a bit too dark or something.
Yeah.
There's not enough light.
The photo was edited pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The whole room was very dark.
Yeah.
Like
and now that I look at this now, I understand that this is all black work.
Yeah.
So this wasn't shaded with washes from the looks of it. This was done with just straight black
Yeah,
ink.
it looked like it had some gray in it last time. But
Which I did that skull on Trevor, and it has that like real dark vibe to it because all I did was black. And yeah.
Sometimes gray, like if you're using gray wash and like a black work thing, it just looks weird.
Well, the contrasts don't, like, I don't know. There's something about the tone of it as they talk to, like when something that's black talks to a washed out black, it doesn't necessarily communicate the value as less. It communicates two different values rather than like this same value but lighter.
It almost has like a browning kind of effect. Or it's like,
and some of the gray wash sets actually use a dilution solution that has a tone to it. So as you go down in pigment, you actually get more of that solution tone to it. Like World Famous Ink has that. Their solution is orange.
yeah.
So like as you wash down, I find it looks brown.
Well, I will say I like this one more healed.
Yeah, I
I
do
like
too.
this picture of it more. Like just in general, I think like sometimes these extreme filters that people put on things, they mess with the things that aren't tattooed.
Yep.
Right? So like the skin that isn't tattooed gets darker too.
Yeah, or lighter or whatever.
And so it just looks all messed up. But
Yeah.
this looks quite a bit better this way. I like the little hints of light in the shading. Kind of gives it some life. So if it was a 4 for me before, it's more like a 7 now.
Yeah, I would agree.
So like I don't love it still, but I do like it a lot more.
Yeah.
I just still think that the face could have used a little more breathing room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree. See, like this is like what I would consider to be like aggressive realism. Like it's like a realism with like a cleaver rather than realism with a scalpel.
Yeah.
And I just went like me personally. If I was approaching a tattoo, I'm like the little detail guy. I want it all. If it's a smooth pit, I want it to be smooth. This is like a
crisp.
style. This is like a black work aggressive style. You know what I mean?
But some of these lines are just like, the more I look at this, the more the border of the face stands out at me.
Yep.
Like it's just, I don't know if that needed to be lined like that.
But that's that aggressive thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't done well, if it was done, like, because, again, we see things where it's like the liner was the wrong choice and it's obvious in the composition, but it's tying into those really heavy black components and they're of equal value. So it's like, it was done well. So this is like an intentional choice.
Well, I don't
you know?
hate it.
Yeah.
It's just, as I look at this more, the lines stand out more and more at me, and I kind of wish that they went away more and more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish it was a little softer.
Yep, that's
But
fair.
Just because, I think it's just because I'm used to looking at portraits that are portraits.
The smoothest things in the world with no lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But yeah, it's definitely better than the fresh one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, more like this, like less of the filters and stuff. I
Yeah.
wish we'd get less of that and more just like this.
More
Where
reality.
you can dissect the tattoo in the wild kind of thing.
Agreed. All right, so next follow-up here. We just reviewed this one recently, but now it's just a little bit better.
Well, this one, the guy actually sent again, and he said the story was that this tattoo here was originally what was under here he got from a guy who was posting pictures that he didn't do, like posting tattoos he didn't do.
Oh, shit.
So there was a whole bunch of crap under here. He sent me a bunch of the before images, and it was like blacked out, and then they did layers over it, and kind of tried. So this is a multi-layer sleeve. Is what
Yeah.
essentially. But yeah, he had a whole bunch of crap under this from a guy who was boasting work that he couldn't do.
Oh, damn.
Like from other artists in the
Yeah.
area, I guess, or somewhere. I don't know the full story, but it was basically like he got like taken.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He bought a lemon.
Yeah.
And so this was what he did to kind of cover that. And so that makes me like this even more.
Yeah,
Knowing
agreed.
that this is what they were able to do with the mess that was underneath.
You know, this is a great example. Again, if people could give artists more freedom for cover-ups,
Yeah.
they could create things like this where it's just like, oh, no, I'm going to give you something cool, but you're not going to go get a flower over it. You know what I mean?
If you
Like
come in with a mess on your arm,
yeah.
you go to an artist that does cover-ups, and you go, what can you do with this?
Yeah, what's possible?
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
You shouldn't bring in some ridiculous image and be like, I want this.
Yeah. It
Make
makes it
this
too
happen
tough.
as if I had clear skin.
Yeah, take away my bad mistake and give me something good.
You
Like
should-
that shit just doesn't work.
If you're looking for a cover-up, just be open to whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to look better than what you've got now.
Yeah, there's no way it can't. Well, I mean, maybe there is some
Wow.
way it can't. I've seen some of those.
But if you trust what that artist has done and
Yeah.
you're going to that person for a cover-up,
Yep.
there's a good chance you're going to be happy with what you get. You
Yep.
just have to be open to more, avant-garde ideas. A little less
Just be a bit more
conventional.
adventurous, you know?
Yep. It may have to be something like this.
Yep. I like this, though.
Yeah.
This is cool.
It is really cool.
All right, next up.
Oh, so I kind of don't like much about this. I like the filigree.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
The filigree is quite nice.
Yep.
The solid black is pretty cool in between the filigree, but like it looks almost like a cover up in that filigree. Mm-hmm. Like it's not. I know it's not, but like why is there so much black there? Like it's just a lot of chunky black.
Yep.
And then her head is just kind of like grafted onto this. Mm-hmm. Like it just looks like is she wearing this? Is it a neck piece that she's attached to?
Yeah, they're like two separate ideas that are kind of put together.
Yeah, it just looks like they were just shoved in.
My question would be, you could make this kind of like an ornamental framing and put it around her and
Yeah.
make it like she's in a frame.
If
That
you
would be a
keep
better
going,
approach.
maybe
Yeah.
like it, but
Because it's technically done very well.
well, my problem is the forehead is a little flat, I think, and the hair is gigantic,
Yes.
and the eyes are bigger than the mouth.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's a
there's a lot of
stylized thing, but the execution is done right. You know what I mean? Well, I'm just looking at it technically.
Fair.
That's one of those things that, like, if I'm looking at the technical execution of it, it's done nicely. Like, that's a good tattoo.
It's one of those things for me where I liked it more the second I looked at it,
Yeah.
and now I'm liking it less and less
As you try and pick it apart, kind of thing.
as I try and look closer at it.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't really love the hair.
Yep, that's fair.
But I don't know. The placement is strange. I would have probably put this up here maybe and then worked down.
Kept the shape up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have probably gone up farther and then worked around it, but I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know exactly why it had to be right here. Like, does that make sense to you?
No, I get you. The placement thing is interesting. I would be interested to know if that was the client's request or if that was the artist's request.
Yeah.
Because like I think what you're feeling is like because there's a body flow.
Yeah.
And this is fighting the body flow.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's exactly it.
What you have is you have something that's done very nicely, but is kind of doing the anti-placement thing of like this is on a place where it doesn't really match the place. Mm-hmm. Like if I were doing a profile facing that way, I wouldn't put it on a symmetrical spot to have it face one direction. You're choosing symmetry to go left now.
If I do a portrait like this, like of this girl's face, I understand it's stylized, but like I would want to kind of like, I don't know, fade it out off of her face a bit, where it just looks like they stuck a bib on her, right?
Yeah,
like
fair.
it's just,
A filigree bib?
and then it just ends.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, bib and head. There you go. There's your
Yep.
tattoo.
Yeah.
Now fuck off and get out of here, right? Like it just feels very final.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
it's pretty final.
But
It's
like,
on you.
where do I go from here? Do
That's
I
the
do
thing,
the
like-
rest of her body now? Like,
That's the thing I'm curious about. Like, where does this go? Because if there's a plan, love to see it. Because
Yes.
right now this is a rebellious placement.
yeah, it feels like that, like almost like an ignorant style kind of thing, where it's like I stuck this on you.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I mean, it might be that, but
I don't
you don't
know.
usually do that on a head.
Just a strange placement.
Agreed.
That's I think overall what's bugging me the most.
See, the funny thing is, like, when I look at it, I'm always looking at execution, technically, and it's clean, man. So that's where I like it.
I like the use of negative space a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I will say.
Okay, next up. That's a lot of color.
That's a lot of color, and some of it isn't packed very well.
Yeah.
Some of it is.
Yeah.
It's bright. Like, what they do have in there is really cool.
Yeah, my curiosity is how much of this was, like, they should have stopped. The skin was, like, fighting back in a way that they can't get ink in.
Like, it looks like it's, like, there's moments of genius here.
Yeah.
And then there's just parts where the ink rejected or pushed out or wouldn't take.
Yeah.
Right? Where is this? This is inner bicep.
Inner bicep.
Yeah, inner bicep.
It's going up real high.
Yeah.
So that's a fairly inflammatory area anyways. And I would assume, they should have stopped. They should have done this in a couple more sessions.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I don't know what the fuck this is.
I don't know either. I don't know what the reference is.
I wish I did, because then I could be like, hey, that's this thing. And it's really accurate.
The only thing I'm thinking is just because I see the spade in there, like, is this Gambit?
Oh, I have no idea.
If he was holding the card, I would think it's Gambit.
See, I would go more anime with this. For
Yeah,
sure,
definitely
but I don't
more
know
anime.
who the fuck it is. So
Yeah.
this totally lost on me, whatever it is. But the colors are really bright. I like the use of negative space. I actually like the face a lot for this.
Yeah.
I think it's a really well done face for this style.
Yeah.
And the hands are pretty good too.
Yeah,
So-
just the color saturation. They're going to need to go back into it.
Yeah, just the colors are a little splotchy. That's really the only problem I have with this,
Yeah.
other than I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But interesting. Definitely different.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, points for creativity on this.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I like the placement. I like the full bicep part.
Yeah.
Although I wish there was more information going on down here, because that's the part that everybody's going to see more.
Yeah,
The face
I agree.
is riding right up in the pit, and you almost never see what's all the way up there.
You're gonna see this much of the tattoo most of the time.
Like, I have an eyeball up there, and, like, no one sees it.
Yeah.
So
unless you're walking around shirtless or tank tops all
even
the time.
then, you got to be opening your arms.
Yeah, you gotta be.
It's really
Just check out my cool tattoo.
Yeah, legit.
head is
Otherwise,
way down.
otherwise you just got a bulk of color at the base where people are going to see it. You know. Anyways, on to the next and last one here.
So the font really did this a disservice.
Yep.
Like, go a little bolder with these.
Yep.
Like, you don't want to go too bold, but like, this is just gonna, like, it's gonna be. I know what it says right now, but I mean, it's probably already a few years old.
I would assume so.
But as the years roll by, this is gonna be more and more like, is that greed?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like, it's just gonna have this.
Greed am.
Yeah. This looks like it was almost like done in the artist's signature style, like how they would write their signature.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't even know what this font is.
Well, it looks like they would have just drawn it, and someone that wasn't really good at calligraphying to get like a really intelligible font. But like, this is something that could be salvaged. You'd have to go a little bigger with it.
Yeah.
And you'd have to make it kind of more. I don't know. You'd have to add some different elements to it to kind of make it more translatable.
Of this that I could see being salvaged easier than others.
Yes.
That M is going to be hard to work with, I think.
Yep.
Like, that's because it's just too much. It's too close together.
Yep.
But like, in between the other letters, there's quite a bit of room to beef this up and do something with it. The M's going to be the M and the O are the only things that are going to cause any trouble, I think.
Yeah. The O is a perfect example of going too small with because that every spirally part in there is gone.
Yeah.
So now it's just like it makes it look more kind of blocky. Like, if you don't do
Really
if you
don't want to
letters-
be too crazy harsh on this thing because it's on someone's face.
No, I'm just using it as like a bit of a teaching moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, people always wonder why we tell people yay or nay on stuff, especially us. Like, we say no to a lot of things, and it's because they don't get examples of the healed in 2, 3, 4, 5 years of something to make it so that like it's intelligible for like the way that your lettering is done is still legible, and it will be legible for a very long time because that's been taken into account. There was no part like they're trying to make it so that lettering will last and be legible forever.
That's why you turn down some fonts. It's
Yes.
just that simple.
Yeah, but people who don't know and don't have one of those words that they can't read anymore. They just think that we're magic and we can do anything as small as we want. But you know, the body is involved in it, right? So
This person, as I said, I don't want to be mean to this because it's on someone's face. So I'm really, really wanting to be gentle.
Yep.
You have an interest in finding someone that can help this tattoo.
Yeah. And
right?
I think I've seen them. You know what I mean? Those guys are out there.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's one of those, if it were me and this was mine, I would be hunting down a dope calligraphist that has done reworks like this before and give them freedom to make it cool.
Yeah, freedom, no pun intended.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, I had like the stars on my face, right? And I wasn't like, I didn't love how those came out. And when Lee was able to turn those into roses, like it was a huge quality of life upgrade.
Oh,
for
man,
me
huge.
because they just looked so much more logical.
Yeah.
Like suddenly it made sense. It didn't look, I wasn't annoyed with it anymore.
Yeah.
So I would say you have an interest in finding someone to fix this.
Yeah.
If you can.
I would, unless you know, if there's a story to it and you want to keep it the way that it is, that's understandable too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would turn it into a dope ass version of this.
Yeah, exactly. Just make it the same thing, just cooler.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Yep. All right.
My
Well,
2 cents.
thanks for sending these in to
Yep,
us.
keep
Keep
them
on
sending.
sending.
Keep 'em
We'll
coming.
keep talking shit.
Yes, please.